Look, a tag Heuer aquaracer. Thanks to Chad, who lent this in, I get to take a close look at it. Now, I have to be honest. I don't know a whole lot about tag. And I have done that, I think, intentionally over time because I have, noticed, a lot of negative comments toward the brand. And I intentionally didn't research it because I don't want to get hung up on all that. I'm more of the mindset that if a watch is nice and I like it, then that's what I want to deal with. The fact that it's nice and I like it. And what I've discovered is I very much like this one. This is I think the part number, if I'm not mistaken, it's actually written on the case back too. This is a let's zoom in. This is a way211a.ba0928. I'm not sure what the RHD 1994 means because this is not a right-hand drive. Well, I guess it is because the crown's on the right, and it's not from 1994, so I'm not sure what that means. But again, I kind of don't really care either. So it's got a nice case back. The scuba helmet there. But I've really latched on to the overall design and the way they pulled this off. The applied indices all have a nice angle and chamfer to them that catch the light, even in low light, before you need the luminous. The light reflects off all those surfaces and it makes it easy to read. And then I am getting a little bit older, not that my eyesight's like bad or anything, but I'm finding that I really do enjoy a magnified date as well. And they've nailed it on this one. It's probably like whatever, 2.5 times, or I'm not sure what the norm is. I like the yellow accents. Let me zoom back out. I don't know if I can really pinpoint one specific thing other than I can't help but compare this to the Seamaster Professional that I had before. And I always felt that the Seamaster was a great watch, and I really did like it. But it felt too pretty for me. I'm a blue-collar worker, and I do manual labor. So it always felt weird wearing that watch. Even though I did like it, but I didn't fully connect with it. This watch, to me, seems like it has a more masculine feel to it, and I think it's the angles and the shapes, but it still has that size and feel that the Seamaster has. And I like the I don't know what you want to call it. I call it pinstriping. I know it's not pinstriped, but if you look on the dial, how you have the slots, if you will, it just gives the dial so much depth that I think is nice to have. I mean, it's nice to have, a good clean dial too, but I'm glad they didn't do that on this one. I like how it's all, there's just shapes and angles and surfaces all over the place. I also like that the bezel is not smooth. I mean, it's smooth. It doesn't have the coin edges, but it has the spots here where you're going to get traction. And the action on it, to me, sounds great. There's like no play. It locks into place. It's 120 click. But I think the main thing is it's not too tight, but it doesn't quite feel loose. So I guess it's just right, if that makes sense. So probably one of the better bezels I've felt on the watches that I've had come through here. I threw it on this mesh. The bracelet could possibly be its downfall, but then again, not. It's pretty simple. I didn't want to size it. It's a little big for me. It's a simple fold-over clasp. It has solid end links. And then it has the 3 micro adjust. I just dropped the pin, so. And the end links, they're not like massive. The way they fit them to the case, they're nice and short. So I think once you know, if I were to size the bracelet, it has a nice taper and everything. You know, it tapers down to like a 17.7, and I'm pretty sure it's a 20 mil lug. Yeah, it's a 20 mil lug width. Actually, oh, I got those out. Let's look at some measurements. I think it's only like 12 mil thick. I love that. This should be I think they said 41 or 40 and a half. I can't remember. Yeah, it's like 40 and a half. It's only, let's do it with the crown. It's like 46 with the crown, but it's only 40 and a half millimeter. And then the lug to lug. Yeah, like a 46.8. I've heard some say it's like a 47. So it's, to me, man, this is a really great size. Excuse all the fingerprints. I'm not going to wipe it off. Just a great looking watch. And they have a few different color combinations, and I've been really looking at all of them. I think this is the one I would go with. I'd have to get a closer look. They have one that's a black dial with a blue ceramic, and then it has a blue seconds hand. But I think it's the total blue seconds hand's a bit much. If they would have just done the blue tip, I think it would have been better. I like that the yellow accent on this, they left the hand all polished except for the end is yellow, and then the caliber 5, which is the movement, which is it's a hopped up version of a e.t.a. 2824. I don't know all the details again on that. I know it is cosc certified. So, man, let me pop it on wrist, on my 7 1/8 wrist. I gotta get this thing out of here. I'm gonna send this to Bruce next, since well, you don't care about the mesh, but man, just a great. I gotta get, like, I'm almost speechless with it. I seriously, and I didn't think I would be over a tag. Let me show you the loom real quick too, because others have done it, but check that out. We have the green and we have the blue. Isn't that great? The tips of the hands, they switched over to green, which is also like the tag Heuer shield too on the tips of the hands if you look at them. Oh man, there's a whole lot to like about this watch and not a whole lot to not like. Even the price. So if you were to walk into an AD, I don't know if there's any deals or not, but I'm pretty sure it's like $2,550. I think it's right in there. And then maybe you can get them down a little bit. I know I sure would try. But on the used market, I think you're seeing these anywhere from maybe on the super, super low end, maybe $1,400 all the way up to maybe $1,800-ish, somewhere in there. I think. I could be wrong. You know, that's as of 2017. I already did the bezel action. The only one thing I did notice, see that movement on the up and down on the bezel? But my Omega did that too. And I've had a few other watches that do that. So I think that's just the design of how they do the spring and everything. I'm totally fine with that. The crown action on it is really nice. It's a nice signed crown. I know I'm going long on this, and it's got a nice wind to it. The date change on it is nice and crisp. I mean, it's a standard 2824. You know, the date change on it, I think, is like just before midnight. I think it clicks over. Oh, I guess that was AM. I'll just show you real quick. I mean, we're already 9 minutes into this. Why not keep going, right? See, just snaps right over. So there's my long ramble on this tag. But for real, I could seriously see buying one of these. Like, it's on my radar. Like, if I can find a really good deal on one of these, or maybe this one even. I don't know how attached he is to it, but there's my first look at a TAG Heuer aquaracer, and I'm glad it was this particular model because some of the other ones I've looked at, the older ones, I don't know that I would have been so impressed with. Sorry it went super long, guys. Let me know what you think about TAG, because I probably won't look at the comments anyway.